Ukuleles sure are a whole lot of fun, and a friend and customer of mine just got this baritone ukulele from Mainland. It's a solid mahogany, and my it's on the bench so I could put a pickup in it. And my current pickup of choice for ukuleles, because I use them in my own when I perform, is the K&K Aloha Twin. They perform really well, and it's a simple design. You got your in-pin jack, which goes at the end of the ukulele here, and then two transducers that need to get glued to the bridge plate. That's where it gets a little tricky on the install. Ukuleles have got really small sound holes, so I can't get my fingers and hand in there to position these transducers as easily as I would with a regular guitar. So I'm going to show you how I do the install of one of these on a ukulele, and you can try it yourself, or bring your uke to me and I'll be happy to do it for you. Anyway, let's go and put this pickup into this ukulele. You only get to do this once. You can't do it over. So the baritone ukulele is in the guitar vise. I put a level on the top so that I know the ukulele is level, and I have a level, bubble level in my drill so that I know that my drill is level as it's going in. One other thing, brad point drill bit, and it's not a 1/2 inch. I need a 1/2 inch size hole, but this is 3/8 inch. It's smaller because you don't want to use a regular drill or even a 1/2 inch brad point bit, because you're almost guaranteed to get tear out of the finish a little bit when you go into the wood. So I use a smaller drill bit to do the initial hole, and then I'll show you what I use to finish off the hole. So here goes. I've got it positioned. I've got it level. It's straight. Okay, now that I've got the pilot hole drilled, it wasn't so bad, was it? I need to take my end pin reamer. This is specialized just for reaming out the holes that you make to install jacks. So now you can see that it's graduated, it's tapered. And right here is where it will finish off the hole, and this is a lot easier on the side of the hole, and it will not tear out finish the way a drill can. So we got to put this in and start finishing. And that's how you drill a hole in the base of a ukulele, at the bottom of a ukulele, for an end pin jack. Now that the hole for the end pin jack has been drilled, it's time to install the pickup. These two little transducers need to be precisely positioned right on the bridge plate here. Now I've reached in with my fingers, and my fingers, as long as they are, don't reach that bridge plate. So how am I going to get these installed to where I want them? Well, I've put a mirror and a light inside the ukulele, so I have a visual reference of what I'm doing. And I'm going to use a clamp that's used for gluing top braces. And I'm going to stick the transducer right onto this piece of the clamp, and then carefully put it in and use this part of the clamp as a visual reference to know I've got it positioned right, and then look in and very carefully hold it in position while the glue dries. So that's the step, and let's get on with this install. Okay, so I've got the two K&K transducers glued here and here on the bridge plate right where I want them on either side of the center brace. And you'll notice in the pick that there's just a little bit of stickum left on the transducers that was used to hold them in place. That won't affect tone, and you get off as much as you can, and the rest is just a little bit of residue. So now the next step is to install this jack. Well, you have the same challenge installing the jack that you did gluing in the pickups. You can't get your hand up in there to push the jack all the way up to the hole. So use a little bit of rubber tubing with the 1/4 inch jack on the end. So I'll just thread that right through and plug it into the jack, pull it through, and then tighten the jack on. Before I do that, I want to share with you a little bit of a tip on how to deal with holes that you drill in your guitar through the finish into the wood. Got a really clean hole there, and it was done very carefully. So started out with using a brad point drill bit that's smaller than the final diameter, then using the reamer, as you saw, to widen the hole. You always get a little bit of finish compromise, finish separation at the hole where it separates from the wood. So before I removed the tape, I took a very sharp knife and I cut a slight bevel right around where the edge of the hole was into the finish. Then I took some super glue and I wicked the super glue into the finish right around the edge. That helped to rebond any finish that was separated during the drilling process as it went through into the wood. And then finally, I very carefully removed the tape from the outside in towards the hole so that when I was pulling the tape off, it was towards the hole and not away from the hole, and that helped to ensure that I wouldn't lift any finish off that might have been compromised and still not glued when I super glued it. And the final result is a nice clean hole with finish that's in good shape. So let's thread this jack through, install it, string it up, and see how it sounds. I've got the K&K pickup installed in this mahogany baritone ukulele by Mainland from my friend Carrie. And so what's it sound like? Well, I'm going to play a little bit of my composition called Winifred's Dream through my Apogee mic, which captures things rather well. And then I'll segue into just the K&K running directly into the audio input on my MacBook. Here's a little bit of Winifred's Dream unplugged. I hope you've enjoyed this video about how to install a K&K Aloha Twin into a baritone ukulele, as well as the video clip comparisons. I rather like the job that K&K does. It is even, it's warm, and it's a sound that can be easily modified with any outboard preamp or device you may have. I should have mentioned also that it also has, because it's a soundboard transducer, those of you who like to use taps and thumps on your ukulele for rhythm will like the capability of the K&K to communicate that. So if you have any questions or comments, please go to my website, jimkozel.com, and find the blog entry that contains this video where I entertain questions, suggestions, and will answer any questions you may have about whether it's a pickup install or other questions about guitar, ukulele, and other instrument repair and restoration. So thanks for watching, and as I always say, keep on picking.